All right, welcome into Euro. Tonight is time to recap what was this match day. We had an insane early window as Group D finished up, and then the most boring, mundane, I want to somewhat gouge my eyes out at some point type ending to the group stage in Group C. That was rough. We will get into that. But let's have some fun first. Let's get into what we saw in Group D. An absolutely insane match on both ends here. This game was something. France, I am still not convinced by at all in this Euro as they draw with Poland 1-1. Both goals on penalties. Mbappe in the 56th minute. Robert Lewandowski in the 79th. France they haven't looked convincing at all this tournament. That worries me a lot. Yet they still came minutes away from winning the group. They still haven't lost technically. They've drawn and they've won, which that's still a winning strategy technically. As long as you don't lose, you will be fine. We found that out a lot this tournament. Poland, of course, they had nothing to play for. They were already eliminated coming into this. They were on 0 points, so it kind of felt like they had nothing to lose here. So, might as well go and chase it, and they did. I thought they had some good opportunities. Obviously, none better than the penalty, which obviously was converted. So, we end up with a 1-1 draw here. And with the 1-1 draw, that meant the other game going on simultaneously became much more important because if there were a winner to that game, that winner would win the group. Again, do these players know that when playing? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? You never know that much of a factor. I'm sure they had some idea, but let's get into that other match. It was Austria 3, Netherlands 2, which means Austria, yes, Austria, they top Group D. I don't think anybody had this. I think a lot of people figured they'd finish third in this group, and here they are. They are the group winners. Ralf Rangnick has found a way to get this squad of 26 to win one of the groups to death in this tournament. Going up against the Netherlands, going up against France, it's amazing what he has done. Austria goes up 1-0 in the 6th minute off a Malen own goal, which, it was still a banger of a goal. It was just obviously an own goal, which sucks, but hey, it was still a banger. We go into halftime with Austria 1-0 up, and we're like, okay, monitoring the situation. We come back from half. Cody Gakpo, basically 2 minutes after halftime, puts it in the back of the net. It's now a 1-1 game. And we're like, okay, Netherlands woke up, all that fun stuff. It's over. Might as well just start looking on. Well, Austria had something to say about that. Just over 10 minutes later, in the 59th, Schmidt puts it in the back of the net for Austria, and they are back up 2-1. And it's now... okay, this is getting interesting. Maybe Austria are going to do this. Maybe, they'll find a way. Now, at this point, when that second Austria goal was scored, France was up 1-0. So, at that point, you're like, okay, you're going to finish second in the group. France will still finish top. It is what it is. Depay, 75th minute, another banger of a goal. It's now 2-2. And at this point, France is still winning. So it's like, okay, France are really going to top this group now. Then it's the Netherlands in second. Then it's going to be Austria third. Austria had something to say about that. Only 5 minutes later, Marcel Sabitzer slides it into the back of the net, gives Austria a 3-2 lead. And at this point, France were now drawing with Poland, and Austria shoot to the top of Group C. And that's where it would stay for the rest of both games. And Austria walks away with the 3-2 victory. I was stunned by this result. this Netherlands team is not good. Not good at all. I was quite confused by it. I thought they were going to be much, much better this tournament. They're not. They're not that good. And I don't know what else to say other than, maybe time has passed them by. Maybe the talent isn't as good. Maybe it's managerial. Because I did say I'm a bit worried about Ronald Koeman coming into this tournament because he's just not that great of a manager. I've said that constantly. And you kind of saw that today, if we're honest. We saw a little bit of that today. So, good for Austria. I'm glad that we had like a team like that win a group. Because it feels like it was getting chalky a bit. I know like second place got kind of mixed up in some places, but when you get a team that nobody expects to win the group, that makes this tournament so much better. It brings like more entertainment, I guess I would say. It's more positiveness to it because it shows that this isn't like a closed system. Like you can win your ways through tournaments and win groups like this when people give you no shot whatsoever. I like that aspect of it. So with Group D wrapped up, that was the early window. And now we move on to the late window. I don't even want to go here. England 0, Slovenia 0. And we'll just put them together. Denmark 0, Serbia 0. We had 0 goals scored. There were a total of 7 goals scored through this whole group stage in Group C. Denmark and Slovenia drew all 3 of their games. We had Serbia and England obviously draw 2 of their games, and their only game that they won was the England 1-0 game. We were a Serbia goal away from this group being all draws. It has to be one of, if not the worst group ever put together. Ever to play football. In a World Cup, a Nations League, a Copa America, a Euro, I don't care. This has been an absolute disaster of a group. I'll go back here because I'll be honest, I didn't watch a ton of the Denmark game. This game, this England game, it is so disgusting how just England are going through the motions. The 3 Lions are going through the motions. There is no accountability on this team. There is no passion. There's none of it. There's absolutely nothing for this team. It's just 26 players there. No camaraderie, it seems, whatsoever. And every time they go on the field, they look like they've never touched the ball before. It is so disgusting that a team of this caliber had just nothing. It is nothing. And you know what? They lucked out. They very much lucked out because if you look at how they fell with the way the table is working out for the knockout stages, the side of the bracket England is on, much easier than the other side, which features France, Germany, Portugal, and Spain. Those 4 are the only ones clinched over there right now. Meanwhile, on this side, it's England, Austria, Switzerland, and Italy. Now, yes, Italy is there, but still, there is a massive difference between those 2 sides. And you know what? England got a lucky draw once again, and I can't even get excited about it. Because you know what? I've watched these 3 games. It has been absolutely disgusting what I've watched. It's either Southgate and England score in the first 20 minutes, and then they sit back for the next 90, it feels like. And you're just questioning, why are we sitting back? Why are we not trying to go for a second? Let's try to move this lead up a little. Or it's what we saw today, which was just utterly disgusting football because both teams knew a 0-0 draw would be enough for them. You're seeing no passion whatsoever from this team. Jude Bellingham looks absolutely awful out there. Again, his club form and his, form for England, two completely different things. He looks absolutely lost out there. Trent Alexander-Arnold, I know he didn't get the start today, but I mean, those two games were awful. Conor Gallagher, who is his replacement today, awful. So it's just, I don't know. I think one of the stats was, at least during the game, I don't know if it's still true after the game, but Phil Foden had more completed passes to Jordan Pickford. He has 2 completed passes to Jordan Pickford than he does to Harry Kane. Harry Kane has 1. How? How is that possible? I don't know whatsoever what is going on with this team. And it is such a shame. This team has just awful form, absolutely disgusting form. And they're going into this knockout round where they could, if they, played up to what they are on paper, straight on to the finals. It is so disgusting that we are wasting this talent, and this talent isn't showing up too. It's almost a 50-50 split there, because the talent's got to show up and you got to have the right tactics. This team currently has neither of them. It is just so disappointing, so disgusting. I'm at the point where I do wish Denmark kind of would have scored late on, so England just went over to the other side and just got it over with, because I'm done. I'm done with this. Literally the only hope it feels like there is right now is that they just absolutely grease 2004 this knockout round and just somehow find a way to the final and just keep playing this absolutely disgusting brand of football and win it somehow, which I don't think is going to happen, but I've seen crazier things happen. I'm so over it. I'm so over Southgate. I'm so over, this whole team. I think bad choices were made in selections. I know we picked the most informed players. We seem not to be playing some of them. I don't get it. I really don't. This is just, it's annoying. It's very annoying. I'm done. I'm done with this England team. Yeah, I will be 100% bought back in on Saturday when we're playing. I believe it's going to be the Netherlands, who have looked as bad, if not worse, than England. And I'll be bought back in by then. But this is just an absolute embarrassment of a performance. I think a lot of people in the FA should be ashamed of themselves. Disgusting. Let's take a look at how the groups finished out. England, as I said, finished top of the group on 5 points. Denmark and Slovenia, they finished tied on points at 3, tied on goal differential at 0, tied on goals scored, tied on goals against. We go through all the tiebreakers. We have to get down to the tiebreaker of qualifying ranking to decide these two. And since Denmark was higher ranked in qualifying, they end up being the second finisher in this group. Now, Slovenia do move on to the round of 16. They've clinched a spot. So, it was really only matchup that mattered, which, it's still going to be a gauntlet no matter what. And Serbia finished bottom of this group on 2 points. Group D, as I said, we had a lot of twists and turns during this final match day of Group C, or D, I should say. We had no twists or turns in Group C. Group D, Austria finished top on 6 points with a +2 goal differential. France in second on 5 points. Netherlands on 4 points. And Poland, who were already eliminated, on 1 point with a -3 goal differential. So, yeah, that was something. that's going to wrap it up for Euro tonight. It has been a day. I wish I never watched those late games, the Group C finales. Those were just utterly despicable. But we're back at it again tomorrow. The final day of the group stages, Group E and F finish up. It is Group E. The first kickoffs at noon Eastern time. The 3 p.m. Eastern time kickoffs is Group F. So we will be back here tomorrow to recap it all, of course. So thank you so much for watching. If you just stumbled across this video, click like, click subscribe, tell anybody you know about it. We'll be back, obviously, tomorrow night. If you want Copa America coverage, that's also on this channel, so go check that out. We will see you again back here very soon for another episode of Euro Tonight.